Hello, everybody, and welcome to this episode of the Faux Show. Today is Wednesday, June 6th. My name is Angela.
My name is Chris.
And as most of you know, the Faux Show is not a real show. It is a social experience because I don't look at you. I look at my I look at my iPad, which I have here propped up by an MSI Win running Linux.
Yeah, her stand broke. I've got it over here, full screen on my screen. What's up, chat room? She's got it over there on her monitor.
No, shh! It's over there on a monitor where we can see ourselves. And then it's on this over here.
I just said that.
Best lower third.
Best lower third on the internet.
On
right?
the internet.
I think we should chop that down. I think we could basically just chop it down. Take out the iPad mention, take out that screen mention, and just say best lower third.
I don't know.
Okay. All right. Well, we've got a fun faux show because this is the calm before the storm. Next week is the big awards show. Mm-hmm. So you want to tune in for that.
Okay. But tonight is about I had to look at the monitor where we can see ourselves. It's about alternative eating.
Alternative eating.
And, you know, the title doesn't exactly encompass all the content of the show, but it should be interesting. By the end of it, you'll be like, right, okay. So the first thing I want to show you is...
Before you go, I want to mention something. And I'm sorry to derail like this.
Why did you let me go?
Because this faux show comes out on Wednesday.
Listen up. Yo.
And if you want to get in on Guild Wars 2 open beta this weekend, you need to pre-order like right now. And so we will have a link in the show notes if you want to get on that. They're doing the pre-order, plus they're also going to give you a 3-day head start if you get the pre-order. And they just doubled their server capacity. They're going crazy. One of their head guys was over on Reddit doing and asked me anything about their beta. They're getting really, really, really ready for this thing. It's supposed to be a big game.
Okay, well, and so the affiliated Amazon link is in the chat.
It'll be in the show notes. I don't have a chat room
in the show notes on jupiterbroadcasting.com.
Yeah. And thank you for supporting the show.
Under episode 93.
I just wanted to get that up before I forgot, because if people are watching this on Wednesday or Thursday, they got to kind of do it soon. Mm-hmm, all right. Mm-hmm. So where do we start with our...
Okay, so there's this new thing going on over in Korea.
Okay.
It's the world's first virtual store. There it is.
Is she looking at like pictures of products?
Yep. And what you do is you take your
smartphone or whatever.
Yeah, smartphone, and you scan the barcode and enter the quantity. Here's some people waiting for the subway, and instead of just having blank walls or artwork or something fancy like that, they've got a virtual store there.
So does somebody come out and hand them the item in that case?
Nope. They schedule a delivery time for when they will be home. And so by the time they get home, they either will already have the groceries, which I doubt it because they probably have to sign for it, or it's delivered shortly thereafter.
You know, I don't hate this idea.
I don't either. I think it's great. Like the big train station in Everett, I think it'd be great for people that are waiting there.
And it seems like way more, not economic, way more sort of environmentally friendly, because you're not supplying the cooling to all of these places and all of the stuff you have to do for all these products. You know, you're not having to ship product to these display locations.
Look at that meat.
Although, now my next reaction is why would I do something like this over Amazon? Why not just do that for 15 minutes before you leave work?
See, I guarantee that the items that are on these shelves, those spots have been purchased.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah.
So this is more
from a marketing standpoint, you might not know you want lemonade until you see lemonade.
Right, because that's big business.
Yeah. Huh. Yeah. Not only that, but like if you notice, there's at least 2 of every product.
You look even though the chat room just totally throw you off, huh?
What? No?
Oh, the chat room said Angela loves looking at meat, and then you completely just stopped talking.
No, but that's funny. I just think I think the meat's funny. I don't know. I just like, because those aren't the cuts you're gonna get.
Well, see, that's the thing I don't like about it. Is it's also like, because you and I have done like Safeway.com.
Oh, here, get it off of this because I'm scrolling.
Which is a local grocery store where you order online, and the stuff you get doesn't always look like the picture, and so I would think this would be very prone to that.
You know what?
Whoa, that's weird.
You should talk while I look at this up, because I think I think it might update with real-time pictures.
No, you can tell.
I think so.
Some of them do not look like some of them do not look electronic.
Okay, currently only Android smartphone users will be able to use the service that launched. It's
gotta be just like a fancy version of QR codes or something.
It's just Steve Jobs and Co. hasn't approved it yet.
So it's waiting in the App Store for the iPhone too.
Yeah, at least by the time this was published, which was actually, I gathered this. Oh, this was September 2011.
To me, to be honest with you, this seems like a temporary thing because this is like trying to bridge old world shopping into the new world. But honestly, all this stuff can be done from the desk. You don't need to leave the house.
No, but for commuters that can't sit there and shop at work.
Or why can't they shop at home?
Well, because they'd rather sit in front of the TV.
Well, but
except this is Korea, not America.
This takes you got to stop by this fake store.
Well, they don't have to stop by it. They are there because they commute.
Well, like in the case of the subway, I agree. But like with this other one,
yeah, I don't know about this is
just
dumb.
A store. Yeah.
It is dumb to like go to it. Yeah, you might as well just get your groceries. You're right. Yeah.
Huh.
I see what you're saying.
But it is. That's pretty interesting. Okay. All right. Well, that was a good one.
I know. I really so that is alternative
shopping. Really
eating. I had to check that again.
I don't.
Okay. So next, I have some tips for keeping food fresh, and you guys are just not even going to believe this.
This is good because we have food that goes bad a lot. You and I need to learn from this.
Oh, that is such a horrible overstatement.
I am a bastard.
No, I know your dad. All right.
We don't lose food all the time.
So here's some tips. This little contraption is wood.
Yeah.
And the apples, there are holes for apples to sit in.
Oh, interesting.
And allows them to go into the space where the potatoes are. That's in
the lower area.
In this box here, which keeps those potatoes in the dark. Now, apples, as we will learn from one of the other sites, that I have, they actually prevent potatoes from growing eyes.
Shut up.
I know, right? Yeah. Throw an apple in with your potatoes.
It's like they're meant to go together.
I know. So,
that's so weird.
So this is a great contraption for that.
Yeah.
All right. So I'm just going to speed through this. Apparently, sand will keep your vegetables vertical and at the right humidity.
Interesting. You know, I saw pictures of my grandpa's family before they had refrigeration, and they had veggies stored in like a sand-like thing.
Yeah.
Maybe that's why they did that.
Yep. And that's maple wood treated with beeswax. So, yeah. I don't know where you can buy these things, but they're pretty cool. The next thing, you guys are just, you're not even going to believe this. Because, did you read it?
Yeah.
Already?
Yeah.
Yeah. This is an egg keeper. Now, you're like, whoa. Those are raw eggs and they're sitting at room temperature. Oh my God, I'm going to die of salmonella.
Oh, yeah. What about that?
Yeah. No, you don't. And in fact, I'm just going to read exactly what they have here on the website. Everyone in North America stores their eggs in the fridge, but few people in Europe do. They can last for days on the shelf or in a pantry.
Shut your face.
Yeah. In European supermarkets, the eggs are not refrigerated, like in the supermarkets when you buy them. Integrating the water into the egg storage shelf is really clever.
Can anybody in the chat room confirm that
they don't refrigerate their eggs?
Yeah.
So the water is there, you drop the egg in, and there's different levels. If it sinks to the bottom and stays there, it's about 3 to 6 days old. If it sinks but floats at an angle, it's more than a week old. If it sinks but then stands on end, it's about 2 weeks old. And if it floats, throw that sucker out.
Yeah. So if it sinks, it's good. If it floats, it's bad. Look at this. We have people in the chat room that are confirming that I never knew that.
Yeah. And this blows our American minds. Because we're all like, oh my gosh, raw egg on something. Got to get some ridiculous.
Can't have that in the cookie dough.
Right. Yeah. It's
you also you skipped over this part, which I thought was kind of interesting. An egg has 1 million holes in its shell. It absorbs the odors and substance around itself very easily. So my buddy who has ducks and has lots of eggs said that if you coat the egg in like olive oil or wax, but he said olive oil.
Oh, right. Wax is from that bomb shelter.
Yeah. But the olive oil will seal all those holes and it'll last months in the fridge.
Right. Well, not only that, but it won't absorb the smells of your
odors,
fridge. Yeah. In a link that we have in 10 minutes from now, we'll talk about having chickens and having your own chickens. They make eggs that are just way better than anything you'll get in the supermarket or that you'll keep in your fridge.
That's true.
So, all right, the next thing I didn't quite read earlier. Again, I didn't refresh myself, but
this one's
it's a different variety of herbs and
their trick here is adding the rice that way to keep them dry. But I actually
right,
heard that doesn't. I've also heard that doesn't work.
Actually, yeah, and we actually keep all of our spices right above the oven.
That's a bad place.
I know. It's a horrible place because the steam gets all up in there. Like,
oh, I know. But it's just
once a week, I make 100% paleo soup. You know?
So awesome.
Yeah.
But it requires boiling for hours and hours.
What I do is I start a crock pot with chicken breast from the local butcher and a rotisserie chicken that I buy from the grocery store. We eat the chicken breast and then we use the carcass and boil it all day for a good chicken stock base for the soup.
That's okay.
Or not all day, but while the crock pot is going. Anyway, so it's like 3 hours on the stove. And yeah, like my peanut butter is softened and my Nutella is softened in the cupboard to the left and above.
You've noticed that?
Yeah, it's warm. It's warm.
So the thing that's badass about that though is we go to the grocery store and we're lucky that our grocery store does like a local farmer chicken thing. It's not like from like some other half of the world.
Right.
But, you get that thing first night, you eat all the chicken off that thing, just like one of the little birds that they have pre-done at a lot of grocery stores.
Mm-hmm.
And then the next day you boil that sucker.
I already said all that.
I know, I'm just saying.
Oh, okay.
That is such a great economic way to get 2 meals out of that chicken and also get some great stock.
And that's what we're trying to do, is try to make things go longer and
stretch it out.
And it's paleo, so
not the Nutella or the peanut butter.
Right? No, those are for the kids.
Yeah, the lucky kids get all that stuff. All right, let's talk about unless there's anything else.
Nope.
Why don't we talk about pink slime? This made headlines. Funny thing about pink slime.
A while ago.
A little backstory. Pink slime was one of those proto stories that I used to sort of model how I would respond to it on Unfilter, because it came out while Unfilter was deep in the planning stages. So I followed it from beginning rumors to the peak of the controversy to all of the butchers, changing their stance. And this was a really interesting story. So now looking back on it, it feels now like pink slime was weeks ago, but it's actually pretty recently. Just saying.
Well, pink slime originated with the whole McDonald's chicken nugget process, where they pulverize like the small chicken bits, including bones, mix it all together and then ammonianize it. It loses all its flavor and its color. So then they dye it and they add the flavor. And voila, you feed that to your kids.
This practice has been happening.
Or yourself.
This practice has been happening for years and years. McDonald's stopped using that
supposedly
a little while ago.
Yeah, supposedly.
This came back up to attention though because it was green lighted for use in schools in education.
Right.
So
Well, so there's this article here that was just a couple months ago in March. Does your store's ground beef contain pink slime?
Pink slime.
Dun dun dun. So if you get to the show notes, you can check out this article and find out which of your grocery stores near you have pink slime.
That's
like here's
idea.
Albertsons, which was founded in Idaho, but is in I think mostly western states, including ours. And I am a Albertsons shopper.
You see there, they say though that it's already been removed off the shelves.
The update shows it's no longer purchased with their ground beef products. They don't contain finely textured beef.
But let's stop right here just for a second.
Okay.
This kind of crap is why you and I don't buy our meat from Albertsons and things like that in the first place.
Yeah, I never would. Or Walmart. Like, if you buy meat from Walmart, I am so sorry for you. I feel so bad for you.
Now, I think, medically speaking, I don't know about... See, the only problem with pink slime is it's been chemically treated. That's
well,
because technically, you could eat it.
It's not just necessarily meat.
No, it's fatty tissues and connective tissue and stuff,
And I don't like connective tissues or fat, blah. But yeah. All right. Well, anyway, so that's a really good article. They keep it up to date. See they've got strike-throughs and all sorts of things there. And it should cover every grocery store. There's Sam's Club on there. Does use pink slime.
I don't think pink slime is U.S. only, Enigma. I think it's just it's a byproduct of the butchering process, and a lot of anytime you're butchering a lot of animals, there's just little nicks and pieces that you can pick up off the butcher floor basically and grind it all up. That's not unique to the U.S.
Yeah.
Maybe getting snuck into the food supply is though. Let's talk about.
I never knew that beef would have pink slime. I only knew pink slime for chicken until I saw this article. Unfortunately. What now?
Yeah. Let's talk about boobs.
All right. Well, so a lot of the viewers, I've been doing the FauxShow for 2.5 years or something like that. Maybe 3. No.
I don't
Anyway,
know. See, we're on 93.
I think it's 200. I think it's 2.5 years. But anyway, you've
probably
seen
about
me.
100 and something.
You've seen me with a newborn Dylan, and you've seen me get pregnant and get fat with Abby, and then lose it all. And she's 17 months old now. But anyway, you know that I think that breast is best when it comes to food. And I breastfed Dylan until he was a year old, until my milk changed because I was pregnant with Abby, and then I breastfed Abby until 2 months ago when she was 15 months old, and I would have done it longer, but she was just done. So anyway, it seems from my circle of friends that breastfeeding is becoming more popular, and I am so for that. And the formula companies are like, no, because they're losing all their profits. Because breastfeeding doesn't cost anything. And,
they were successful in making breastfeeding seem like a low-class thing to do.
Yeah.
And that gave them...
For a long time.
That gave them a long run.
Well, by a long time, I mean like the last 40 or so years.
Yeah.
Not long time, because we've been breastfeeding for a long time. But anyway, I know that some of you guys have checked out now, so I'm just going to cut to the chase. All right. Similac, which is a very popular formula, and it costs anywhere between $50 and $200 a month to feed a newborn baby, has come out with a formula for moms. Yep, that's right. They came out with a formula for moms.
For you to drink? As a breastfeeding mom?
For pregnant and postpartum moms.
So what's this, full of vitamins or something? Or what?
Oh, well, you'd think it would be, but it's not. Here is the list of ingredients.
You got to be kidding me.
Water, sugar, and then just a bunch
salt,
a bunch of crap.
Wow, you're right.
There is nothing.
Well, no, that's not true. Ingredient number 50 is calcium.
Yeah, yeah. Well, okay, you could eat yogurt and get your calcium, broccoli.
Why do it?
Yeah, I don't know, but it's just. Unfortunately, it's their tactic. If mom drinks the formula and is all healthy, maybe she'll feed her child formula because breastfeeding is so hard. Which, okay, sometimes it is hard. I'm not going to lie. The first 2 weeks of breastfeeding Abby was painful and hard, but you just have to do it. It's just something you have to do. And if you can't, then formula is fine. But anyway, I think it's just to get the mindset that, hey, you know what? Formula is okay. I had some, when I was pregnant and whatever. So the baby should be fine because I got those nutrients while the baby, I don't know.
That's sugar and salt.
I don't think I can be really unopinionated on this.
Well, it's funny.
But I'm getting a message across that you can interpret and get your own opinion on.
There you go. Link in the show notes to that.
Yeah,
it's a hard thing because there's a lot of opinions on it. Why don't we talk about something that I'm very grateful for as a mammal that may have originated from some sort of species that came from the water. I don't know. Mm-hmm. But one of the things as a mammal that walks around on 2 legs that I don't have to worry about are some of the crazy ass creatures that live in the sea. You know what I'm saying?
I'm not sure where you're going with this. I mean, I know where you're going with this because I see it on your screen and because I made the show notes and that's my link.
Yeah.
But why don't you segue a little more? Because I can't pick that up.
I just could never.
Wow.
I mean, I'll give you an example. I'm so glad that we don't live on the East Coast because tornadoes scare the crap out of me.
Yeah.
I'm so glad I'm not a fish because this tongue biting little creature thing scares the crap out of me. Look at this thing. It's eating this fish's tongue. And these things go into the fish and get all up in there.
This is an isopod. It gets into the fish through the gills and attaches to the tongue.
It's disgusting.
Consumes it.
Oh.
Replaces it. Becomes a permanent fixture in the fish.
It comes in through the gills.
Yes.
And then eats the fish's tongue while the fish is alive and then tries to...
And they have found that fish with this particular, what do they call it? Parasite.
Yeah.
They have a lower red blood cell count. So they are also like a leech in a sense and actually take some of the blood from that fish. But anyway, this article and specifically says that fishing is linked to a higher percentage of tongue-eating, blood-drinking mouth leeches from hell. And I have 2 questions because I've read the article several times over the last month or so today in prep for the show and then when I originally found it. I don't understand how fishing could possibly lead to a higher percentage of tongue-eating, blood-drinking mouth leeches from hell unless those fish are unable to bite a hook as well as the other fish. You know? So
Well,
maybe there
or
is a
is it
higher
s-
percentage. Or maybe no, I lost my thought, so go ahead.
Well, what I'm wondering is it humans are then more likely to get these problems?
No, they can't. It is not.
So you know all that means, right? It means that we have to stop fishing. For the record, no parasites do not attach to human tongues. No do parasite harboring fish cause human disease.
Right. Okay, so I remember the other part, and I think I forgot it now.
Nice. Good job, dude. Yeah.
Shoot. Oh yeah. Okay, so it could be that people just fish for sport and throw the fish back, and the blood is all leaking, and the parasite can sense blood and then targets that fish because of the bleeding.
Oh.
That could be. I could see that. But again, this article says nothing about how fishing, what aspect of the fishing actually causes the parasite to choose a fish.
What are you going to do, man? What are you going to do?
Yeah. Somebody said, read that. When you catch the fish and let it free, since most lakes have limits on how you can blah, blah, blah. Oh my God, my tongue is a monster. Hey, Crash Bandicoot, how you doing? Yeah.
I had to take I just had that story made me have to chug the rest of that beer.
Yeah.
All right. Next one.
All right. Yeah. Next, we're going to talk about kitchen tips.
Kitchen tips from poweryoga.com.
Yep. Okay. So, you know when you're eating an ice cream cone, which never happens because I don't really like ice cream.
It's not paleo.
But and it's
Neither is
not
that beer,
paleo. And my wine certainly is not.
No.
So you can take a mini marshmallow and stick it at the bottom of your cone so that the ice cream doesn't melt and drip.
That's freaking genius.
And then when you eat that last part of that cone that is so delicious,
It's going to be covered in a marshmallow.
it's going to still be crunchy a little bit
ice
because
creamy.
yeah, right? Goodness.
I want.
Whoa, I'm so much shorter.
Ice cream, my goodness.
All right. Well, so and then let's see.
Use a meat blaster or baster to do a little squeeze of your pancake batter.
Yeah.
That's a good one.
Onto the griddle. Yep. Perfect shape. To keep potatoes from budding, which I mentioned earlier, place an apple in the bag with the potatoes, which I will be doing. I hope that works with sweet potatoes because sweet potatoes are a must in this house. I would have sweet potatoes every night if I could.
We haven't had any problems with our sweet potatoes growing little things, though, have we?
Yeah. The ones we had tonight had buds.
Oh, gross!
I know. Well, we didn't have any apples, and I didn't know until I kept this. I grabbed this link a month ago. I guess I just didn't read it.
So, have you ever admired somebody's glossy finish on their pie?
Oh my gosh!
You brush a little beaten white egg over pie crust.
I already knew this.
Boom.
Is it white egg or the yolk?
Well, it says egg white over the pie crust before
white,
baking will yield a beautifully beautiful shiny pie.
Right. And then let's see. Slice of apple unhardens brown sugar, which is great. It softens it up. Oh, it has the egg is fresh thing, which we already covered. Cure for headaches. Somebody should try this and get back to me. Email me, Angela@jupiterbroadcasting.com.
Check this one out. If you accidentally oversalt a dish.
Whoa, hey, I'm right in the middle of something right here.
Oh, I thought you were done.
No. All right. So try this. It's a cure for headaches. Take a lime, cut it in half, rub it on your forehead.
Why don't you try it?
The pounding, because I don't get headaches. I really don't.
Bet you're lucky.
I know. Maybe once or twice every couple months. But hey.
Can I tell you about this?
Well,
yeah? Okay.
Okay.
I don't remember which one it was.
Yeah, you can put a peeled potato in a dish if you oversalt it on accident.
That's what it was.
And it'll absorb all the salt.
That's what it was.
See that? He has no idea because he didn't read this before the show.
I really just want to get to our garden stuff. So let's keep cranking here.
Okay, well, no, there's something else cool in here.
Nah. I have the coolest Kickstarter ever I want to cover. I want to get to my Kickstarter and I want to get to our garden.
Leftover wine you can put in ice cube trays and freeze it for cooking and stuff. Yeah. If you don't think you'll drink it in time. Although my wine it's good for 6 months after opening. Woo.
Yeah. So all right, do you want to get to this zombie story? Let's get to the zombie story. Come on.
Oh, no, one more. All right. If you have a splinter, and I already knew this. I didn't have to research this. If you get a splinter and you're like, oh my God, I can't even see it, but I know it's there, it hurts. How am I even going to get it with tweezers? I don't know where it is.
How am I even going to get it? How can I even get it?
Scotch tape. You put Scotch tape on wherever your splinter is, rub it down really good, and then rip it off. Ta-da!
Rip it off. Rip it good. All right.
Use a credit card? No.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Use a credit card to rub it out.
Well, then you'd have to know which way it was in, and sometimes you just can't even see them.
She's talking about rubbing something else.
What are you talking about?
All right. Let's move on.
Oh.
Zombie attack.
Oh, yeah.
Did you hear about this?
So, alternative eating. Of course I heard about it. I put it in the show notes.
Whoa, loud. Okay. I'm just making conversation. It's called friendly banter on the show.
Alternative eating. Naked man chews other guy's face. Shot dead by cops.
So, yeah.
We're not going to play the video.
Yeah, no.
The still they chose is good enough. 2 naked men, one eating the other one's face.
I think
I don't know what the follow-up to this is. I don't know if he survived.
Yeah, and I think this is totally crap that they say bath salts. The guy took...
For what?
The guy that was that was acting like a zombie supposedly got
high off of bath salts?
Yeah. Which is not actually...
Oh my gosh, that so explains my friend's Facebook post today.
A bath salts joke?
She's going to start selling bath salts to parties. And yeah.
So now, as a result of this...
Oh my gosh, that's funny.
As a result of this, bath salts are they're going... It's like the war on bath salts now. They're going after bath salts.
Oh my gosh.
So...
Wow. Yeah, well, this is like the whole zombie apocalypse, it's happening.
Yeah.
And then one website was like, oh, look at this lady. She ate the brain of her baby and toes. Like, okay, that happened 3 years ago.
Bronwyn's mentioning that some reports at LSD, they were guessing that was not actually true.
Yeah.
Wow. No, I understand.
Bath salts.
No, so
wait, so he snorted bath salts?
No, so what it is bath salts are essentially like a few chemical tweaks off of like meth. Like they actually are.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Stuff. But I mean,
soak myself in that.
But I mean, come on. Have you ever heard of somebody getting cracked out on coke and something else and going and chewing on somebody's face? That's just
but they almost died on our couch.
That's a screwed up person. Yeah. Exactly. That's a screwed up thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Huh. It's not like glue or something.
No, the thing. So they were saying now. So now Bronwyn's saying that it's like a mixture of the two. They were saying on the CNN report that I saw that it was the guy was on LSD, and then they came back later and corrected that, and then they blamed bath salts.
Okay.
Yeah. All right, pet chickens. Let's talk about chickens.
Okay, so there's this website called mypetchicken.com, and there's some kind of neat things here.
Would you ever let me have chickens?
Yeah. After reading this, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
What items on this convinced you?
Well, so they're easier than dogs. That's what this website says. You don't have to feed them twice a day. You just have to clean up their crap every once in a while, which is great fertilizer for the garden.
Well, what about their poop? Because they poop.
So did you know that poop becomes fertilizer? Because I just covered that.
The problem is it takes a while. And in the meantime, you got poop everywhere.
Well, yeah, it just says...
And you know what else? They're little chicken feet.
Twice a year, you thoroughly clean and disinfect the coop. But...
That's the coop. Meanwhile, they're crapping all over the whole yard.
Monthly change bedding and remove that free fertilizer poop so it can be put to good use.
Here's the thing about the poop. It stinks.
But I think it could go in yard waste, no?
Well, no.
No, I don't think so, actually.
But it does make an awesome fertilizer. But see, the thing is also their little chicken feet like mash stuff down and make mud.
Yeah, well, they bathe themselves in dirt.
I didn't know that.
Okay,
I mean, I had chickens.
All right, well, here's what's really cool, okay? Because you know how chicken eggs are different colors?
Yeah. Yeah. What do you know there about that?
Well, you can tell what color of egg the chicken is going to have by the color of their earlobe. Right? Crazy. If their earlobe is white, they will only have white eggs.
I did not know that.
Yeah. If it's there's like I don't know where it is on here.
Speaking of color of egg, there's an interesting tidbit there about the color of the yolk.
Yeah, the darker, richer color of the yolk, the healthier the chicken was. Let's see.
On a related note, Crash Bandicoot says, "Chicken have earlobes?"
I am having a hard time in my current state finding the color.
That's because you've been drinking.
Finding the color thing. Oh yeah, different colored eggs. Okay. One way to tell that the color, but the internet is all the way out there.
No.
Okay. The color of the egg. The chicken will lay, look at the earlobe. A hen with a white earlobe will always lay white eggs, whereas hens with red earlobes can lay brown, blue, or green eggs.
I had a neighbor. So growing up, we had chickens.
Mm-hmm.
And then I had a neighbor whose chickens would just have the craziest colored eggs. It was really cool.
Yeah. But there's nothing wrong with that.
No.
Yeah.
Nowadays, we have brown eggs, but...
right, yeah, because we get them from the local butcher.
But, like a chicken will do like an egg a day.
Can do up to an egg a day.
Yeah.
Chickens that have been bred for eggs can have up to one per
And they
day.
have to be happy. If they're not happy, they're not laying eggs.
Well, and the season has to be right. In the winter, they don't lay eggs as much.
I would love to have our own fresh eggs, though.
Yeah.
Yeah, it would be really cool.
I don't know.
I just don't think our yard's big enough.
I think it would actually get to me, and I would probably go vegetarian if we did. It would be... So they say in this article that the eggs are best within the first year. Like, not one egg is good for a year, but the chicken's health is best for the very first year of the life of the chicken. But chickens live for up to 15 years.
So
yeah. So we'd have to slaughter them. And I'm so not a fan of killing. And I know that I eat chicken, and that seems so counterintuitive, but the American way is to turn your eyes. Yeah. You just don't see it. So
didn't we look it up?
It just tastes delicious.
We can have like 3 or 4 chickens per some sort of...
I have no idea. Yeah. I didn't look into the local codes. But if you want to have chickens, you should look into that and make sure that you follow your city's
and then
guidelines.
Send in pictures.
Yeah.
All right. Any other topics you want to cover before we get to our garden?
Let's see. Well, you...
this Kickstarter.
Yeah.
Oh, this is so...
It is
freaking.
It is cool.
I'll play a couple minutes of the video, or a minute or so. So over here is a Kickstarter. These guys, I don't think they're gonna make their goal.
Yeah, they're trying to get to what, $290,000, and only 51,000.
Yeah, and 11 days to go is not gonna happen.
Oh, holy crap! I didn't even see that.
Yeah, but
wow. And you know what? With Kickstarter, isn't it true that your money isn't taken out unless they meet the goal?
Right.
So.
They're not going to get it.
No.
But, so this combines a compost, the red worm composting that I do, and everything all into one thing. So here, I'll play like just like a minute of it. You guys can check it out.
Let us know if you can't hear it.
I don't know if they can hear it. Can you hear it?
Gardening system that uses your kitchen scraps to create its own organic.
I can't hear it.
No? Not hearing it? All right. I don't know why. Maybe it's not working. Well, anyways. So,
that's weird.
They have what it is though is it's the compost down the middle of the thing, and you put the soil in there, and then you can put like your food from your kitchen. You just put your scraps right down the center of the freaking thing. How smart is that? And it becomes its own freaking compost. So it's fertilizing your freaking stuff as it freaking grows.
Wow.
Yeah. And what's cool about it is that it's vertical, so you can do like 50 plants in the thing.
Yeah. Well, it is big. Like if you see that person there.
Yeah. But the whole idea...
He's on a computer chair.
Or a wheelchair. But the whole idea is that you could be totally green about your food waste, and you could go grow your own stuff, and you could do it like on an apartment deck. Or, anywhere.
Are those worms?
Yeah, they put... Yeah.
Okay, cool.
This is what I'm saying. They even... See, we have a compost in
We started composting a couple weeks before we started our garden. Or a couple, actually months, right?
Yeah. We're doing a vermicompost with red worms. I have 1,500 red worms in my compost. And these guys, they create the tunnels. They're awesome.
Well, Crash Bandicoot says they need $290,000 to build a 44-gallon drum. Well, so it's a specialized drum, but also I imagine that money is going towards patents and production and the overhead and the creation of the project, and probably a little bit of a profit for the creator.
So what they started with is the hanging basket approach to gardening is actually blowing up. This is getting big. People are, you do these posts in your yard, and you do these vertical gardens. So they started with this concept, and they sort of expanded from there. And it is a little expensive, I agree, but it's got built-in storage.
Wait, how much is it?
Well, no, it's just what they're trying to get to $290.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say
you can get in for a pretty good price, but I hope they're kind of successful because we are.
Well, man, because anybody that lives in a condo or apartment could have a full garden.
And here's the thing.
that holds more than our 4x4.
I know. Well, bring up our 4x4 while I talk about this.
Okay.
So Angela and I have started
don't go there yet.
A garden at home because honestly, with the cost of fuel prices and the economic situation around the world, who knows what food supplies will be like. And we thought, well, we should probably start learning how to have our own food because, you can't just like walk into gardening and just know how to be an expert all of a sudden. This kind of thing, I think a lot of people are going to want something like this. And this kind of Kickstarter could take somebody who's got just the smallest little bit of space and they could actually make their own garden. We used ground space.
Yeah.
But
yeah, this is great. Okay, so here we went, if you saw the Fisher family update after last week's show, we went to our local plant farm. We were hoping to use the composted soil for our garden, but it takes a long time to get enough done. So we went ahead and bought the right mixture of stuff. And there's my boobs putting together the garden thing. There I am. And there's Chris, and then you can see my ass right by my butt right by his nose there. He's just goofing off while I'm putting this stuff together. There's our 4x4. We had cardboard underneath it, followed by the weed-proof stuff, and then the frame around it, and then we still need to cut these little sticks so that they sit on the soil instead of on the top.
This is an important aspect of our garden approach. I decided I'd throw in with something that I could just logically figure out, and that's the square foot gardening approach, where you break things down by size and ratio and all that.
So each square is 1 foot by 1 foot, so 1 cubic foot. And
you actually result in a 70% higher yield of garden than you would if you just do a traditional road garden.
Right. We planted stuff. So here we have the back rows tomatoes, and then rock carrots seed.
Yeah.
Nothing. Cilantro. Garlic chive, spinach, Walla Walla sweet onion.
Yeah, baby.
Woo!
Best onions in the world.
So, we're not going to live off of this because, cilantro and the garlic chives, those are just herbs. They're really not that, fulfilling or whatever, but we've never done a garden before, and the kit that we got came with 2 sets of these, so we'll set up a second one with more stuff, but we did put more stuff in there today. Right here you can see my basil plant right above.
I put another shot of it in there if you find it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right above this pink bird here. I got it from the store. They have live basil plants.
And it just didn't die.
This one would not go. I kept watering it, just to see if it would. Anyway, so I planted it. And then to the left of that, we planted some butterleaf lettuce.
Yeah. So we basically have everything we need there for a pretty decent salad. Not an amazing salad, but you got the tomato, you got garlic chives, you got onion, and now we've got butterleaf lettuce.
There's a close-up of my basil plant.
That basil plant's a survivor, so we decided to throw it in the garden.
And then here's this, too.
Wait, 1 sec. Sorry. There you go. No, stairs again.
There we go.
This is a great part about the overall garden kit is that while these things are still young, is you can put this little greenhouse dome over the top, and it keeps everything warm and growing good, which is really nice.
What is this? So Bronwyn recommends Leslie Brem's.
Herbs and flowers. Let's take a look. I'll open it up in my browser.
Herbs Home Handbook. It might be the one that we have. We bought a couple of different books just to.
But we don't have this one.
Reference.
This does look really good. Yeah, this does look good.
Yeah. Where's the bacon plant?
What I'm looking forward to, bacon plant. What I'm looking forward to, honestly, is just taking the chives, taking the onions, putting them in some butter, sauteing them in a pan, and putting them over a nice piece of meat or something like that. I think that's just going to be really tasty.
From our local butcher. I can't stress that enough.
Yeah, I mean, we don't have to be on a soapbox about it, but it's...
Well, no. We're getting it from a known source, as opposed to an unknown source where other things could be put in and...
I think we both want people to really think about the source of their food.
Yes. Yeah. Well, that is the whole paleo That is like the
even if you're not
underlying
paleo, though, just it is your fuel you're burning.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
This I came across. So if you don't have if you can't get this cool Kickstarter project, because honestly it doesn't look like it's going to work out, and you don't have a 4x4 garden that we're doing,
or a yard to put it in,
and maybe you got some extra gutters, look what these people did. I saw this up on Reddit, and they just created they have a wall there,
and that is awesome. Because we have 4 lettuce plants, the butter lettuce leaf, and that is one salad.
Yeah, if you just trim
until it So this is an excellent way to get enough leaves.
Yep, that's the thing.
To really sustain yourself, your family.
Yeah, that's the thing, is grown enough, and I like the way they've done that. Plus, they're reusing gutters, which is just kind of awesome. The other thing they did, which is really cool, is they ran hoses. So that top one they water, and then it drains. It waters all of. Yeah, isn't that great?
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they just threw that together and hey guys, check out what we did, and posted it up on Reddit. And I was like, perfect for the faux show tonight.
That is epic.
Yeah.
That is really. I didn't know about the hose.
This guy, see, you could go really crazy if you scroll if you scroll up a little bit. This guy actually has a solar panel up there, and he can power his pump.
Wow.
So this guy was like, if the power grid goes down, I want food.
Yeah.
Yeah. But that's obviously a little beyond what we're capable of doing. We don't have solar panels,
right?
But
I can make some in Minecraft.
Man, we have been negligent. We have gone this long in the show and have not mentioned the details about next week's award show.
Oh, well, go ahead, because we need to do the mail sack.
Okay.
But
before we go to the mail sack, do you have anything for the mail sack?
Well, I do, but not picked out. I have to read it real quick.
Okay, we'll go ahead and do that. Well,
okay.
So first, I want to mention the Jupiter signal, because we have a big announcement for next week, and we're not giving out the details, but one of the first places you'll hear about the announcement is in the Jupiter signal, and that is our monthly newsletter, and you can get that over at bit.ly/Jupiter signal. We'll also try to leave a little form in the FauxShow show notes where you can sign up and get that. I'm really excited about next week's announcement. I think a lot of you out there will be very excited about it, so sign up for that.
I can't find the email login.
That's all right. It's okay. It's all right. Well, we don't have to do one today. We can do a mail sack next week.
Where is it?
What are you looking for?
The link for our email.
It's right there. The Jupiter.
This one?
No, the Jupiter Broadcasting. See that Jupiter Broadcasting link over there?
No, this one.
Yeah, that's it. That's fine. There you go.
Oh, okay. All right. Okay, go ahead.
All right. So now, all right. I want to talk about while she's doing that. So that's the signal. So bit.ly/Jupiter signal. That's the monthly. We only do that once a month. Now,
but it's not any particular day of the month. It just is.
Next week. Yeah, it's when we have something to say. And the signal will be coming up. Now, next week is the FauxShow award show. Now, what we asked was that if you could find a few clips of your favorite host personality moment, because we might. Well, I don't want to say what we're doing. That's gonna be a Jupiter signal thing. But we wanted to get your favorite host moment. If you could send them in, and what we decided to do, that we would give you more of an award depending on how many different hosts you sent in. So if you sent in one host, then you get silver award. If you send in 2 hosts, you get kind of like a middle tier award. And if you send in 3 different host moments, then you get the gold award. And that does require a little video action on your part, or at least sending us the time code. And if there's been a moment of a Jupiter Broadcasting host that you have just absolutely loved, email that moment to Angela@JupiterBroadcasting.com. The more host moments, the better award you get.
All right.
All right, you ready for the mail sack there, Chief? Did I delay us long enough?
Yep.
All right, it's time for mail sack. Mail sack.
There it is. Wow. Okay, so Christopher, and I'm going to go ahead and say his last name because we have so many Chris's that watch the show. Christopher Patrick.
That's a badass. That Christopher Patrick is badass.
Oh, okay. Well, he says, I was wondering if you could make your mobile/large videos available to download via torrent, so people like me with limited monthly bandwidth could help with your monthly costs.
So,
I don't even know how to interpret that or if it's a valid question, but there you go.
The Linux Action Show and TechSnap are available via torrent, but only in their HD form, because I have to make each one manually. However, I have just been told, thanks to a couple of different viewers out there, about a service called, well, I don't remember what it's called. bitlove.org, is that right? Let me check. Yep, that sounds like it. So bitlove.org, it will make a torrent based on an RSS feed automatically. So I'm going to start playing with this for our shows and seeing if I can't just put all of our feeds through this so that way everything can be available as a torrent if you want it. Otherwise, if I still have to manually do it, it'll be HD only because I'm actually creating the torrent file for each one and it just takes a long time. Well, it doesn't take a long time, but it takes enough time. But if BitLove works out, you can expect to see torrent feeds available for the mobile versions as well. You got another one before we go?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm ready. Are you ready?
No.
All right, that's an unfiltered one. You want to save that? You want me to save that for unfiltered?
No, okay.
Oh, there's a good one. On the Faux Show, you were talking about HDR. And this is from Pierre. Hello, Pierre.
Okay.
Do you want to read the rest?
Yeah. How about some HDR in spherical panorama?
Yeah, some HDR he did. Cool. Drag it over so it's, yeah. Oh, yeah, cool. So somebody sent in some HDR.
It's really cool.
Shut up. Did he do this or is he just tripping out on this?
He says he did it.
No frickin' way.
Oops.
Don't be.
I'm.
Here, let me do it. Let me do it because you are just ruining this.
Yeah.
This is.
Oops.
Oh my! He did not do this. Shut up. Are you sure he did this?
It says by Pierre.
It does say that. These are frickin' incredible. That Pierre is a badass. Check that out.
How did you go to the next one?
I don't know. I just hit the next one thingy. Here, I'll look at because he sent us 2. Oh my gosh!
Whoa, dude!
This looks like a freaking video game. Is what it looks like.
Yeah, that looks really cool.
Wow, Pierre. We actually looked at the stats last week, and half the Faux Show downloads are in audio. So what we're seeing right now is, for you audio folks, is Pierre has sent us in 2 different HDR photos that he's done, but they're
spherical. I think he called it.
They're spherical HDRs in which we can actually move around the HDR, sort of like an old QuickTime VR file in a sense. And look at that guy there. And the detail's incredible.
Yeah, it does look like a comic book video game, but real. It's so crazy.
Yeah.
Okay, well, let's get off the screen and make sure that he was okay with us sharing that. Yes, I grant permission.
Oh, good.
Okay. And you might like to know that they are all done in Linux.
Shut up.
That's your next runs Linux. Pierre runs Linux to do this art.
Read off the software.
Using Huggin, GIMP, UFRaw, and Luminance.
God.
Thanks. I really enjoy your shows, especially Last End. Woot! The Faux Show.
Well, Pierre, thank you for sending in those. Those are very cool to look at.
Yes, thank you very much. And if you want your email read on the Faux Show's mail sack, email Angela@jupiterbroadcasting.com.
Or use the Contact Us form, and we might just pick one that was sent
Right. This was a Contact Us form.
This one was actually flagged for the Faux Show.
Yeah, and it says you can flag whether you want us to read it or not. And if I'm drunk, I might accidentally read it, just so you know.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, anyway, I think that is it.
I think that just about wraps up this week's episode of The Faux Show. Of course, The Faux Show is live Wednesday evenings at 8 p.m. over at jblive.tv.
Oh,
Pacific time.
And, don't forget Faux Show Awards next week.
Mm-hmm.
And then after that, I already have the show planned, or the topic at least.
Wow, look at us. And Faux Show Fridays on the live stream. If you tune in over jblive.tv on Fridays, it's Faux Show reruns all day long.
And if there's a topic that you would like us to cover on the Faux Show, feel free to email me and let me know.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Yep.
And show up and star in our lower third. And thank you to everybody for rocking the lower third today.
Which apparently has been revised to the lower fourth. It's not actually a third.
That's true. That's true. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's more of a technical term.
The lower fourth.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Okay.
All right. We will see you next week. Don't forget, you can catch recent episodes of The Faux Show on
jupiterbroadcasting.com/Faux Show.
Also, get them on demand in the iTunes store. Search for Faux Show.